The Treatment Advocacy Center says the number of psychiatric beds decreased by 14% nationwide between 2005 and 2010. In Virginia, there are nearly 18 psychiatric beds for every 100,000 people. And that's actually above average, according to the Advocacy Center. I want to bring in Congressman Tim Murphy, Republican from Pennsylvania. He's also a psychologist who's calling for reforms to the mental health care system. Congressman, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it. You took to the House floor today, and while you didn't mention Gus Deeds by name, you seem to allude to him in your remarks. Who is to blame for him not getting the help he needs? This all seems like it could have been avoided.
We have a long list to blame here, and it goes in the federal, the state, the local level. We have, on the federal level, there's been a push from some agencies to actually reduce the number of hospital beds.
Reduce?
Reduce the number of hospital beds and reduce a mandatory outpatient treatment as well. Federal dollars actually paying agencies to advocate to reduce that. Look, we had...
Why? Just to save money?
Well, back in the 50s, we had 500,000 hospital beds. Now we have 40,000. And even though you listed Virginia of having around 22, that still is listed in the serious area because we need about 50 beds per 100,000 population. When medications came out in the 1950s, we found a lot of people in hospitals really didn't need to be there. They could be successful outside in the community. That was fine. But what happened was there was such a push to reduce them that now we've gone too far. States have also cut their budgets for the mentally ill, and local communities just have drastic shortages. They can't deal with this. So what happens is when someone has a mental illness and they're dangerous to themselves or someone else, is that a very important criteria. They could be detained for a little bit in the hospital, but then usually a judge or a magistrate has to say, you need to get in care. If a bed is available in Virginia, and some other states will have that same sort of caveat as well.
And there's no requirement that they call around, because, I mean, it seems to me the most difficult part of this whole process is getting somebody in the hospital because he or she is a threat to himself or herself or others. So that is the toughest part. Once you're in there, I would think that it should at least be, okay, now he's here, we have him under surveillance, or we're watching him, we're paying attention to him, we can put him in a hospital bed. You're saying that's actually not necessarily the only
you're keying on a very, very important point, and that is what hospital personnel in any sense see. Remember the story of Aaron Alexis and what happened at the Navy Yard? They took him to VA hospital, or police saw him. The question in any one of these cases, you can go through all the 60-plus major shootings that there have been by someone who's seriously mentally ill. When they were brought to hospital, did someone see them as a threat to themselves or other people? We've heard many cases where a parent actually has to go to the hospital and lie. That is, they have to lie and say, my child tried to kill me or my child threatened to kill me. Without that danger, there's no reason that the hospital personnel or magistrate will hold them. They'll say, look, he hasn't threatened anybody. I don't see evidence here of harm. You have to let him go. And parents, many times, can't even talk to the hospital. Another federal law, the HIPAA laws, will say, doctors can't communicate with parents if the child is over 18 in most states, or in Pennsylvania, over 14.
So are you suggesting that we've bent over too much in the name of civil liberties and not enough in the name of care and preserving a safe society?
That's right. We've gone so far we forgot compassion to help those who are ill.